For today's application, we'll be doing a female beauty makeup application. My name is Ricky Greenwell, and I'll be working with the lovely Julie today. I first start off by simply matching foundation to the cheek to make sure that I have the proper foundation selection. Next, I'm going to grab a concealer stick to work through and neutralize areas of the skin that I'm wanting to make sure that are highlighted within my makeup application. Here it's going to be the nasolabial folds, some of the smile lines in the cheek, or in the chin area, underneath the eyes, as well as separating the plane between the brow and the forehead. Now I want to take a moment and just talk a little bit of the difference between a neutralizer and concealer. In much of my opinion, they're a lot of the same, but when I choose to use them. Often when I'm neutralizing, I'm doing that before I put my foundation on. When I'm concealing, sometimes I'm putting my foundation on and concealing after the fact. The point of a neutralizer or concealer is obviously to hide areas of the skin that we may not want to see, or we may not want others to see. Those could be in the instances of, say, if I have a blemish, or maybe I have an area of concern like an age spot, or some discoloration that I'm just wanting to hide out. Neutralizing would be a key way to do this. One key example might be like in a men's makeup application with a beard stubble. You would want to neutralize the blueness underneath those tones before I do a makeup application. So now I'm moving to my foundation and utilizing a beauty blender to now blend my foundation across the skin, as well as blending my concealing product into my foundation, giving me some natural highlights where that concealer or neutralizer was, to make sure that I have a well-balanced makeup application. As I'm working on the face, I notice a small spot that my foundation is just not giving me as much coverage as I'm looking for. So I go in with my neutralizing stick or my concealer. I'm putting that on. I'm going to go ahead and grab a brush to kind of pat that out a little bit, as well as utilizing my ring finger to pull off any excess product that may be there. And then lastly, I'm going to dip my brush into a little bit of my foundation just to give me a well-blended area. Some of my objective here is to not necessarily be 100% coverage as far as my foundation is concerned, because I am using a streetwear lighter foundation. Next, I actually dust the face with some loose powder to make sure that I'm setting my makeup in place. Anytime when working with a cream product, it's important that you actually take the time to either use a powder puff and press your foundation in, or utilizing a loose powder on your face to set that makeup. My next step here is to actually go in and define and give shape to the brows. So I'm using an angled brush and some brow powder. You're going to see that I'm actually using my brush to kind of measure and shape the brow. And the goal here is to look and develop that ideal beauty shape. And we're talking about an ideal brow. A way to measure that out would be to you can use your brush from the edge of your nostril of your nose straight up to the edge of your eye, and that would give me an indication of where my brow should start. As my brush starts to go at a 45-degree angle, or say through the pupil of my eye actually, that will give me the indication of where my arch should end and the fall of my brow should start. And then as I take my brush from my nostril to the edge of my eye, that gives me the indication of where my brow should end, to give you that quote-unquote ideal shape and beauty. Here you can just see me using just that angle brush, a little bit of product. I find that when I'm using an angle brush and product, sometimes it's a little too dark. In fact, often it is. So here I'm using just a clean brow comb to go through and to take a little bit of excess product off, while also grooming and shaping the brows. This could be done with a spoolie or even an old toothbrush to help you define and give you shape and definition to your brow. Next, I'm actually going to go in with a buff eyeshadow and do just a full wash of color over the full lid in and of itself, utilizing a large poof brush. Once again, just a full dusting of color over the area of the eye that I had previously used the concealer on, to give me a light pigment. Next, I'm using a poof angle brush just to give me some definition to the crease, as well as to the giving weight to the outer edge of the brow, utilizing a V shape to my definition. And then once that shape is defined, just to use my brush to smooth or blend everything out and give shape and contour to the eye itself. Next, I'm going to go in with a pencil product and define the upper eye itself, utilizing my pencil. This particular pencil has a smudging tip or blending tip on the end, which gives me a great ability to give a smokier eyeliner look with a pencil. So it does not necessarily have to be as harsh and crisp with an eyeliner or with your eyeliner, just giving me a smoky appearance with that pencil. This could also be achieved with a liner brush and or a angle brush. Underneath the eyes, I'm looking for a lighter application. So what I simply do is some of that same shadow that I used to give me my contour or crease shape, I'm just pulling that along the under portion of the eye from the outer edge of the eye through roughly where the iris or pupil of the eye is to give me a little bit of harmony within my makeup application. Next, I go in with some mascara, starting at the bottom lashes, to utilizing a zigzag and rolling motion just to deposit some mascara onto the lashes itself. The objective is for a natural and softer look. And here you can see I'm just using a little bit of a zigzag motion and kind of a rolling motion to give me some mascara into the eyelashes. Lastly, I'm just using a little bit of a Q-tip to clean up any fallout or any smudges that I may not be happy with in my makeup application, just to make sure that I'm giving those finishing touches to the eye area that I'm looking for. And I move on to my blush color. Here I'm actually working with a smaller blush brush to lay down some product. And then I'm going to go in with actually a larger brush that is a clean brush with no product on it, just to help diffuse some of that piece. This particular blush just had a lot of pigmentation in it, so what I'm trying to do is actually diffuse a little bit of that and lay down some color. And what I do is work from the apple of the cheek up into the hairline itself to give shape and contour across the face. Next, I'm going to be working with a little bit of contour powder or a darker shadow. I'll cross the chin to help give definition and support both underneath the chin to strengthen that jawline, and also from the outer edge of the jaw into the hairline itself, all to help give that oval appearance to the face that, once again, when we start to talk about quote-unquote ideal beauty, this is going to help to define and contour the shape of the face. Lastly, I'm going to utilize a pencil to define my lips, as well as a little bit of lip color in a lip brush to help give shape, definition, and contour, all within a berry-like tone for my makeup application. Here I'm going to just use a loose tissue to press onto the lipstick to pull off any excess, not necessarily biting down, just to pull off any excess to give a finished look. Here we have our finished makeup application of Julie. I'm hoping that you learned something with me today. And remember, if you think it's possible, you can make it possible. Have a great day.